Hey guys, it's me. It's Tro. I'm here to talk to you about some questions I received on the Facebook group. So let's start. Okay, the question I received was, are there sex-specific negative consequences to intermittent fasting? And so we're going to answer that question today. Are there negative consequences to intermittent fasting? And we're going to talk about that. So basically, intermittent fasting is taking your eating window and narrowing it and fasting for the remaining portion of the day. So let's say the average American eats for 15 hours a day. Somebody who's doing intermittent fasting will eat for one meal or 4 hours a day or in an 8-hour window, and then will fast for the respective rest of the time. So the most common type of intermittent fast is a 8 and 16, which is an 8-hour eating window and a 16-hour fast. Most people, the way they do intermittent fasting is they start eating at noon and they stop eating after dinner. That's fine. We have real lives. We want to eat with our families. We want to eat with our loved ones. And so that's completely acceptable. The optimal way to do time-restricted feeding or intermittent fasting, these are interchangeable terms, is eat early and stop early. So eat close to waking, when your cortisol rise happens, when your stress hormones from waking up happen, when you're most insulin sensitive. So eating early and stopping early is the optimal way. It's not a big deal to do it. If you want to get a grade A, you can do the early time restricted feeding. If you want to get a B plus, you can do the noon to you can do the noon to dinner. Well, how many hours can you do? You can do one meal a day. You can do 4 hours a day, 8 hours a day. I like 8 hours a day. I think it's makes it manageable and for most people's lives. Okay, well, what are the negative consequences? There's some reports of women losing their period. So I just wanted to kind of clarify this. It is not related to intermittent fasting. It is related to eating too little. You can eat too little on any diet and lose your period. You can lose your period on a vegan diet, a paleo diet, a ketogenic diet, a vegetarian diet, a pescatarian diet. You can lose your period on the standard American diet. You could lose your period with bulimia, with anorexia. You can lose your period on a number of diets. And the bottom line is, if the calories are too low, you will run into problems. And it's not sex specific. I mean, men can't lose their period, but they do lose their testosterone. So if men go too hypocaloric, their testosterone will drop. Both sexes will see a drop in their thyroid hormones, adrenal hormones, stress hormones. So the whole body will have kind of hormonal dysregulation if you eat too little. So what's the bottom line? It's not related to intermittent fasting. The reports you hear about women losing their period or men who are really losing their libido and their testosterone tanking, it's not related to a specific diet per se. It usually is related to eating too little and being in a hypocaloric state. That's when the thyroid shuts down. That's when the testosterone drops. That's when women lose their periods. So how do you prevent that? Eat till you're full. If you're, make sure that you're eating a full diet of real foods, meat, vegetables, fish. Make sure you get screened for eating disorders. A lot of times people will have, some eating disorders and they'll be chronic dieters and it's kind of masked as an eating disorder. So the bottom line is this. The question was, is intermittent fasting negative or have negative side effects that are sex specific? No. Only if done improperly and you eat too little and you're starving yourself. Can any diet, including intermittent fasting, have negative consequences if you eat too little? Yes. For women, you can have irregularities in your period, or you can lose your period. In men, your testosterone can drop, your libido can drop, and in both, the thyroid hormones can get dysregulated. So hopefully that answers your question.